Hi, welcome to the FingerNailFixer vlog. I'm so excited you could join me. You never know what you're going to find on the vlog from week to week. It's going to be anything and everything nails, from talking about nails to doing nails, nail tutorials. Check out things on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be looking at nail products. We'll be talking about disinfection. We'll be doing everything and anything nails. So please reach down and click on subscribe or even join me every week on the FingerNailFixer vlog.
Hey CJ, thank you so much for joining me with the vlog, and your booth has been great. It's been just slammed every time I walk past it this weekend. So what I would like to ask you is, as a distributor, now that we are past that initial shock of COVID, how are you having to handle your projections for getting a hold of products? The first thing that comes to my mind is gloves. Like initially it was like, oh my gosh, I can't get gloves in the salon. What am I gonna do? So what are you doing for projections for ordering products, and what are some suggestions you have as far as doing that in the salon for us?
So Holly, first of all, thank you for coming to me and doing this interview. I really appreciate it. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned with COVID is that in our distribution process, I've always had a situation where I like my inventory to turn in 30 days. That is how I've always ran my business, and I've always been able to depend on my manufacturers to be able to provide me with that. But the one thing that I've learned is the manufacturing end of it is really suffering, because there's so many components that go to manufacturing a product. Whether it's made here in the US or it's made somewhere else, it really doesn't matter. The components is what is really challenging to get. They're in the supply chain that we just, they're sitting out in the water somewhere in a container that we just can't get like we used to. And I have realized that through this COVID era, that if I'm going to be able to provide my customers the products that you depend on, I need to readjust what my turnaround is on my inventory. So personally, as a distributor, I have increased my inventory to a 3-month turnaround. That's even sometimes sketchy. But honestly, I mean, just an example, maybe on a monthly basis, one product in a particular manufacturer, I'm ordering $5,000 worth of product. I'm ordering $15,000 and $20,000 worth of product, so it carries me a little bit further, so that I can provide you, because I know as a former salon owner that if we don't have our products to work, we're in trouble. So I have this conversation a lot with my customers, because we see the market coming back, right? And we all said that when COVID was over and we were open again, our salons were going to be open with a vengeance. And trust me, I deal with salons all over the country, and they've come back with a vengeance. So I always tell people, because one of the questions, and it's funny you say gloves, because gloves is always the bone of contention, right? But I always tell people, if you're used to ordering your monthly supply in these quantities, maybe stretch it to where you order 2 months at a time. If you can't financially afford that, we really project. I mean, we really do project what our clients order. But if you can't really afford to go 2 months ahead of time, pick your items that are your top items that you order mostly. And don't wait till the last minute to order. That is the key thing, because we get so many people that, oh my God, I just took out my last box of gloves. No, you may want to, instead of waiting until you take your last box of gloves out, get down to 2 boxes of gloves and order. If you're used to waiting till your container is 3/4 empty, maybe do it when it's 3/4 full. So just those little minor adjustments. I mean, we as a business with Center for Beauty, we do pride ourselves in the fact that we offer quick deliveries. We do pretty much same-day shipping. We try to do the best shipping for the price in the quickest amount of time. But once it leaves our warehouse, It's out of our control,
No control.
right? And everybody from the top down, delivery companies, everybody's having their challenges with COVID, right? So I always say, we've always said that there's really only one person you can depend on, right? And that's yourself.
Yeah.
So you just have to make better judgment calls with how you run your practice and how you manage that inventory to determine what you want to do to make sure that you provide the stock that you have to be able to provide the services to your customers.
That's so true. And really just a small adjustment of changing that when it's 3/4 empty to 3/4 full could be really huge, and 2 boxes to 1 box. And so many nail professionals are not used to projecting like that. You know, it used to be, oh, I'm almost empty, I'll order.
Right.
And really making sure that they're looking at that has become so crucial.
It really does. And I think using this show as an example, typically every year when we do our shows, we project and hope for at least a 15% growth at each show. Well, we didn't have Premier last year. So it was a real struggle this year to really decide. We didn't know, we had no last year projections to go by.
Well, and it's half the size it normally is.
It's half the size that it normally is. You know, we've added some new items, so we don't know how those are going to promote out. And we didn't know who was going to attend. We had a 50-50 chance. It was either going to be gangbusters like it was, right? Or it was going to be, oh my gosh, what did we do?
Yes.
So that process of determining, that's all part of business. You have to kind of project. I went back through my sales through the entire year, and I kind of anticipated customers that I thought would be at the show and projected that way. And then you kind of add in for that hopeful new, right? I know this is a different circumstance because whatever we don't sell, we take back and put in the warehouse. But you have to have some type of projection. I mean, projections in itself is just the power of positive thinking.
Yes.
Right? So if you say, I don't know what I'm going to do next year, or I don't know what I'm going to do next month, or you say, next month I want to really plan for a 10% growth.
Yes.
Then plan that in your inventory as well, because if you have the 10% growth in your services, you need the 10% growth in your inventory as well.
Absolutely.
So that would be probably the best way to do it, and people, they don't think about that.
Yes.
They think about how to increase the sales, but they don't think about how to increase the inventory that goes along with the sales.
Yes.
And that in these days now, there is no way you should be waiting till the last minute.
Yes.
And you really need to kind of focus on that projection because it's important. It's important for the survival of the business.
Yes. Because 2-day shipping doesn't take 2 days anymore. It takes 5.
No, it doesn't.
I'm like, why did I just pay 2-day shipping for 5 days?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It doesn't. And I tell you, with that being said, the shipping companies, they're not guaranteed it anymore.
No, they can't.
No.
They're too short-staffed.
Absolutely. We used to be able to go back in. If I would have a client call and say, CJ, I thought my product was going to be here yesterday. We'd go in and we'd find out that it got there 4 days later. We used to be able to call our delivery companies and say, hey, right?
Get a refund.
There's nothing. They're not doing any of that anymore.
No, they're like, sorry, too bad, so sad.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Thank you so much for taking your time out, CJ. I know this show has been so busy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.